Stock futures flickered near the flat line Wednesday night, following a 3-day run of losses for the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Futures tied to the 30-stock Dow slipped 18 points, or 0.05%. S&P 500 futures slipped 0.02%, while Nasdaq 100 futures hovered just above flat. In after-hours trading, online pet products retailer Chewy slumped 9% after the company issued a weak forecast for fourth-quarter net sales. GameStop shed 3% after it reported lower net sales compared to the year-ago period. The moves follow another losing session for the major averages in another signal that the late 2023 rally may be fizzling out. The Dow and the S&P 500 closed lower for the third straight day, losing 0.2% and 0.4%, respectively. The Nasdaq Composite also dropped about 0.6%. The three major indexes remain poised to finish the fourth quarter and calendar year higher. I think you're still going to see some choppiness in terms of leadership, Lori Calvasina, head of U.S. equity strategy at RBC Capital Markets, said on CNBC's Closing Bell. Overtime. One of the reasons why it's been so difficult for the growth trade to relinquish its leadership is that expectations for economic growth are still sluggish, she added. Investors have key data releases to mull over. Private payrolls data issued on Wednesday showed that employers added 103,000 positions in November, coming in below expectations. The question is whether subsequent data releases this week will show a similar cooling trend. On Thursday, weekly jobless claims are due before the opening bell. November non-farm payrolls, along with wage data and the unemployment rate, will be out on Friday morning. In the way of earnings, Dollar General will post quarterly results before the bell Thursday. Lululemon and Broadcom are slated to report after the close. The current rally may be overdone, but markets may still pull off the best of both worlds in 2024, slowing inflation while growing earnings, according to Barclays. FOMO has pushed up equities far and fast, and may face a reality check at some point. But we believe the path of least resistance remains to the upside, wrote analyst Emmanuel Cau in a Wednesday note. Cau clarified his belief that next year, central banks may successfully slow inflation without impairing growth too much. This means some rates cuts are likely in 24, even as earnings remain resilient, which is a good setup for further equity gains, he said. Kailai Han, Michael BloomHere are some of the stocks moving the most in extended hours trading. Read the full list of stocks moving here. U.S. stock futures opened little changed on Wednesday night. Dow Jones Industrial Average futures shed 5 points, or 0.01%. S&P 500 futures were down by 0.02%, while futures tied to the Nasdaq Composite dipped 0.03%.